Welcome back to Conversations Beyond the Veil. So I'm Romy, your host, and I'm from Romy's Mystical Realm, and together we are all the MystiQal Trio. So I'm joined by Tracy from Spirit Connection, and her beautiful insights and connections, and I've got Andrew with me on this side, who works with clearings and counseling and helping people create harmony. So all together we are the MystiQal Trio. And today we're asking one very simple question. So before you reach for your phone, do you reach for your soul? So what would happen if instead of waking up, immediately stepping into that noise outside the world, you rather go within, use your intuition and spirit? So today we're exploring how to create a more spiritually connected day from the moment you wake up right through to the moment you close your eyes at night. So put the phone down now, guys, for a moment. Take a breath and come beyond the veil with us. Tracy, introduce yourself, my darling friend.
What a lovely introduction. Thank you so much, Romy. That's a lovely topic. Andrew, hello. How are you? All good? It's so nice to always be here because the conversation just flows. It's basically having a chit chat with my besties over Zoom. Thank goodness for technology.
Exactly. Andrew, over to you.
Hi, Tracy. Hi, Romy. My name is Andrew, and I am a person that clears spaces, homes, businesses, and does counseling, dream interpretations, and a keeper of the light.
Oh, that's so
I was waiting for that. I love that keeper of light. I love that.
We sit and wait for that keeper of the light. Yeah. So, and it's so lovely to be here, both of you guys. And last week actually went so well. It was just flowing. Let's start with Tracy. How do you start your day? How do you start your mornings?
I love this question. Literally, years and years ago, I actually went to a body talk lady. I can't even remember her name, years and years ago. And she actually mentioned to me, when you get up in the morning, you actually need to get up with both feet on the ground. So what I do is the first thing when my eyes open, when I want to hop out of bed, I actually make sure I turn, put both feet flat on the floor, and then I get up. That's an intention. So basically, I'm not getting up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm not getting out of bed with the wrong foot. So I love that. That's how I start my day. Both feet flat on the floor. I love that. And it stuck with me. I still use it till today. Even in this freezing cold weather, we've had lots of snow and rain. And I still do that. Both feet, it's an intention. You just set that intention. When I wake up, both feet on the floor. That's what I do. That's how I start my day. The first thing when I open my eyes and when I get out of bed, both feet flat on the floor.
It's good to have that, to have that something that you stick to and you believe in. What is your morning ritual?
I like that, Tracy, because that's a grounding as well, if you put both your feet on the ground.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes, good. With me, I think we all become culprits of the phone, and I try to avoid my phone in the mornings and rather contemplate my day and ask for assistance and gratitude for what the day will bring, instead of focusing on all the negative and one's fears and doubts and worries. One must rather create a positive intention. So that's what I try and do in the mornings before I start my day.
So what I usually do is you wake up and you listen. So I'm asking my guides. So I call my guides in and say, good morning, and what have you guys got for me today? And then what you do is anything that comes into your mind, those are the things that you've got to focus on. Sometimes it's quiet. So listen to those voices, because the voices are actually that's going to get you through. So that's usually my first thing. And then, which I haven't started doing, but I want to, my tarot cards next to my bed. So when you wake up in the morning, get your guidance from your guides, your spirit guides, the ascended masters, the angels, and then you draw one card and maybe do that intention. But yes, guys, so this is a positive, it's a beautiful way of starting your day and just being, being present. What else have you?
I love that, Rose. Yeah, I love that. I do my intentions in the shower, basically. Yeah. After I've done the feet thing, done the kettle, fed the dog, opened the curtains, all of that. My intention starts when I hop into that shower, because that's where I connect to my guides. So I think we all do it a little bit differently, but definitely in the shower, that's when I calm. And also I envision that the water's actually washing away all the negativity. Let's start the day. What's happening for today? And then that's when you get the aha moment. Let's do this, let's do that. Or you get that little bit of inspiration. For me, it's in the shower. So, but I just want to ask you a question, Romy. The tarot cards next to your bed, is that not going to give you not a restless sleep at night? Because the tarot is active all the time. Do you think that's a good thing to put it next to your bed?
Well, what you can do, I mean, if you've got a little drawer, rather put it in the drawer. It's a very good point. It's a very good point. I never thought about that. And luckily, I do have a drawer, so I'll try and put it in the drawer. Leave it in its little pouch and put it in the drawer. I never thought of
let's hear what Andrew's got to say about that. I think he's got a good question. He's got a good answer for us there about the tarot next to the bed.
Yeah, I can feel his vibration going.
I used to keep cards close by and try to do a process of what the cards are prompting. But these days I try and work more with my own intuition. I still do cards, but I don't do them every day. I maybe do them once a week or once every 2 weeks that I do cards for myself. Because I do it for clients, it's a different story. So yes, I try and work more with my own intuition and creating a vision for the day and try and clear the mind. I think we've all got, like you said, we've all got different rituals in the morning, but the important thing is to be able to clear the mind and the emotions that interfere with us, so that one can set clear intentions and be present going into the day. We all lose that center somewhere along the line in the day, but it's always important to try and pull it back.
Yeah, it's so true. Hey? Trace, what else can you add to all of this? The morning ritual.
Yes, I'm loving that ritual, Rose. But what I would also maybe suggest is, yes, the tarot speaks to you, obviously, and then maybe just put a crystal on top of the tarot. Program that crystal to say, only don't disrupt my sleep. In the morning, give me my answers. So that's a great one. I do it in my office. When I come into my office, that's where my cards are. I have not started. Oh, you can see them. Yes, there we go. Yeah, it's always here. This is my little space that I pull together. And when I'm not working with spirit, I push it away. And then I do my normal work. And then I bring it forward. So that is what I use. But I'm also coming back to mantras. I love mantras. Do you two have any mantras that you say to yourself during the day, or some mantras, or do you prep yourself up the whole time?
Mantras, I'm not so I need to do more. I know Andrew, you can, because you do all your decrees. So Andrew does a lot of decrees. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, whether you call them mantras or decrees or affirmations, affirmations can be very, very short and very powerful. I use a lot of that because of my work with clearing spaces. When I go into somebody's house and I need to clear that space, or a business, then you have to use a vocal form to draw in an energy and a power to help one clear that space. So I use a lot of affirmations, and like Tracy, I also have a sacred space that I create that I like to work in when I'm at home. unfortunately, I can't set a very specific routine like you guys, because sometimes I work in the mornings and sometimes I work in the afternoon. So I will spend time in my space when I have the time. Doing affirmations and mantras and decrees also helps one to clear the mind and to clear the heart space, because you are so busy focusing on those words and those intentions. And the mind stops running. So you start stilling the mind and you focus on what it is that you are saying and setting that intention, and you're drawing in that energy into your space. And so straight away it lifts your vibration. So it's a way to clear space. It's also a way to raise your vibration and your focus. And when our vibration and focus is raised, we connect better to our intuition.
I think, to maybe put an alarm on your phone, and maybe every 2 hours, let the alarm go off, and for you to just get back into that space of, oh yes, and this is a way of teaching yourself, to get into the now, because we get so like hyped up in your day, or I mean, if you're at work and you get so busy and you forget to be in the now. So that's also a very good way of putting those alarms on your phone so that you can just get back into that space.
Loving that. What about elastic bands? So every now and then you just you shoot the elastic band. It will shock you. Okay, let me check my energy. Let me check my energy quickly. Scale from 1 to 10. What's my energy? Yes, we get so busy in normal life that we actually forget. So you're actually right, Rome. So I think that is a good reminder for all of us. Andrew?
Yes, it's about creating a momentum also, because the more you do it, the stronger the momentum becomes. And so it's about setting the intentions and persevering, because it's all about changing our routines, because routines can become habits, and some habits are bad. And so when one starts looking at how one can change one's life from a spiritual point of view, it's all about focus and determination. And how can you incorporate it into your life so that your spirituality and your way of life becomes one?
That's very true. And I mean, even in the mornings when you wake up, the first thing that usually you go make your cup of coffee, you go make your cup of tea, and make it a ritual, make it a spiritual ritual. Put that intention in your coffee and your tea, and this is the beginning of my day. So I'm putting good intentions into my coffee, into my tea, and then you go sit quietly. I've got a beautiful patio where I can see sports fields across from me. So I sit there and I take in all well, not today because it's a bit cold. It's very cold here, guys. But, you take all of that in and you have that little moment where you in the moment, you're drinking your coffee and you are preparing for that day.
Loving that. Maybe set your alarm 10 minutes earlier to do that, because the rush, once the rush starts, for a lot of people, then they forget. So maybe wake up a little bit earlier, 5-10 minutes earlier, so you can make your coffee, and also stir the intention. When you stir your teaspoon, when you stir your coffee or tea, make the intention while you're stirring. Put the intention out for today. Only want peace, love, and light today. Let today be good. Let my energy uplift, or something like that. Some little mantra by stirring the coffee or tea. Or your Milo. I don't know. Some people like hot chocolate. I don't know. I'm a tea person. I like tea in the mornings.
No, but it's definitely that intention. So we're trying to give you guys ideas of how to stay in the moment, how to have that that vibration through the day. So, just a little, even if you're having a cup of coffee in the afternoon, or you're having your tea at 10 o'clock, you're at work, you're busy, you're having your tea, you can sit and just be quiet and just, go within. It's very important. Andrew, you got anything to add to that?
Well, why do we do these things? We do them because we've come to a point in our lives, and I'm sure there's lots of our listeners out there that get to that point where you start reflecting that life is not just the mundane of everyday life and growing up, going to school, leaving school, working, buying a car, buying a house. It's not all about that. Somewhere along the line, you come to the point where you want to find peace and harmony and contentment within your own self, within your heart, within your soul. And that's when you have to start doing these processes. So it's the journey of going inwards and withdrawing from the duality and the material world, because that's what holds our attention all the time. And slowly but surely, we've got to reprogram ourselves to turn inwards and to connect to that mystical realm that we always talk about.
Yeah, so true. Gosh. And you know what it is, when you start tapping into that energy all the time, it really does become magical, guys. You know, I know everybody's saying, yeah, but magic is not real. It is real. And you can tap into that magic every day. I mean, you can just sit and just look at a flower. I mean, there's so much magic just in the one flower. So something I love to do is you sit and you watch the flowers and you watch the bees. And I mean, the bees will come in the way they walk over the pollen, and the pollen sticks to their little legs, and, you know, off they go. And that's also magical. So these are all little things that we miss because we're so busy running around. And I know life gets hectic, but, you know, and something that's coming up that I'm going to ask both of you now is, what if you're a single mother, you've got kids shouting at you, you've got work to do, you've got to do everything. How would you cope with something like that? Tracy, what would you suggest to someone, you know, going through all that? How can they bring like the spiritual or the calmness into their life with being so busy and hectic?
Oh, yes, Romy, I'm loving that. Not even single mothers. When you've got grandkids that are driving you insane, focus on the breath. I'd say, because it's like hyper, it's busy, it's noise, it's all of that. The breath is actually life force energy. So just focus on the breath. I would say, do your deep breaths in, hold, exhale. That will just automatically calm you already. It will even still your mind. And then just get your kids to do it as well. Just say, stop. Let's all do a quick breath. Let's breathe in and make it a little fun game for them. Breathe in, hold, exhale. It will just calm everything down. I think that will work for a lot of people, because we forget. We've all got the breath, but we forget to breathe. And we don't breathe properly. Yes, we forget. In times of fear and stress, what do? You stop breathing. So just breathe and relax. Then it changes the whole energy, and then everyone will be calm.
Andrew, what have you got to add?
Definitely, Tracy, because breath brings about a presence, bringing one back to oneself, because yes, we actually are our breath. And when your breath goes out, then you're completely out of sync. So it's all about maintaining that centeredness, because when we get caught up in the moments of life, it's because we are going into this non-coping mechanism, and one's just got to refocus and breathe and pull one back to one center and say, how do I handle this situation? Unfortunately, life teaches us that it's okay to overreact and to put your emotions out there, when actually it's not. Because when you start looking at it from a spiritual point of view, our energy and our light that we are putting out there is a quotient of energy that was given to you, and there's a responsibility that goes with it. So you have to look after it. We can't just squander it, because then we are not looking after what we were given. There's a responsibility that goes with energy and with light. So am I qualifying it, or am I misqualifying it?
Sure. Yeah, that's, and I know, you know, for some people it's hard. Life gets very tough. Something else I do is I would take, I mean, nobody would even know. You can stand in a queue at the shop, but you just take your hands, you put it on your solar plexus, and you just start breathing. I always feel a little, it always starts as a little flame, and you can make that flame bigger and bigger and bigger. And wherever you're at, I mean, even if there's kids or if you're at a school, you're a teacher, whatever, I'm telling you, even the kids will start calming down because you can make that flame so big. You can make it big into the room and just bring it in your environment. So also something just to calm everything down, to just bring us into the now. I think that is the most important thing that we want to do. Tracy,
it's a good reminder for all of us.
Yeah, definitely.
I think years ago as well, I read somewhere when you're always in a hurry, and you're so busy and you forget, you cease to become a creator and you become a competitor. So I love that. That stuck with me for years as well. So when you're so busy and you're frazzled and you're rushing, just take that breath. And I remind myself of that saying. I don't know who wrote it. I can't quote it at the moment. I'll have to look for it. But when you rush, you cease to become a creator and you become a competitor. So we don't want to be competitors. We want to be creators of our own life.
Yeah. Andrew?
Yeah, it's the same as being present. Because when we are present, we are in a heart space. And your breathing and your heart rhythm is normalized. Whereas as soon as we get overburdened or overexcited, then the heart rate goes up and the breath goes all wonky. So again, it's all about the breath and being present in the heart space, because that's where we hold our harmony. The minute that you lose your heart space, you go into the mind, and the mind starts running around, and the emotions come in, and everything goes wrong.
If you go and you do something creative, it also brings you into the now. So you've got a weekend, or you don't know what to do with yourself, just to bring that creative side. Go and draw or paint, or go and work in the garden. Those are all things, and even washing dishes. There's so many things that you can do, cooking or anything like that, and you just focus on the cooking. You do everything in the now. And you just listen and you smell and you be present. And those are all things that you can do. How many times have you driven your car and you get somewhere and you think, oh my gosh, how did I get here? I can't even remember, because you were so busy worrying about stuff. What am I going to do tomorrow? Or what am I going to make for supper? Or, whatever it is. So that also, I mean, I know with driving, you've got to focus on where you're going and all that. But, try and enjoy the trip. Just see where you're driving. Don't miss that, because, shall I say, it's about the trip and not just about the destination.
And also the glimmers. Like you mentioned the little rose earlier on, or the flower, the little glimmers. I call them glimmers. Those are those little hopes in the day, like the raindrop. It's starting to rain now, and how the rain is on the glass pane. If you look at them, they've all got different shapes. So even if you're so busy, just take a moment, look up, have a look around you. I know if you're in an office, if it's a bit hard, but there must be a window, or just look at something on your desk. I know with people, when they've got anxiety, they normally say, look for 10 things around you or something like that. I'm not too sure, but that also just calms you. So just look for the things around you, those little glimmers, those little tiny moments of little hopes that's all around us all the time. Even the clouds, the trees, there's so much, a blade of grass, but we just need reminding. Stop and smell the roses.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Magic is in the eye of the beholder. So we all see magic differently and in different places. But one's got to pay attention to look at it, because if you look for the magic, you'll find it. And like Romy was saying about when you cooking or cleaning, I'm a very firm believer of using the violet flame. And so I've got into the habit of when I'm cooking or cleaning or even driving, then I use the violet flame, because the whole teaching of the violet flame is to transmute. So one takes negative energy and you turn it into positive energy. And so one doesn't just do it out there while you're driving, but while you're cooking, you can put that energy into the cooking, because we assimilate that food, and so there's an energy that goes with it. So
yeah, isn't there a saying that say when you cook with love, the food tastes better?
Yeah.
Say yes.
Exactly. So one can apply these principles. Doesn't have to be the violet flame, but one can apply these principles into your daily life. And again, it's about combining your spirituality and your way of life so that they become one. They don't have to be separate entities.
I never thought of using the violet flame like for cooking. Maybe I should try that, because my cooking is really bad.
Or even playing music. Sometimes when I'm cooking, I play classical music.
Yeah.
So, and it calms you down, and it creates an atmosphere so that your mind isn't running all over the place and you're putting bad intentions into your cooking. So I think we must be very aware of what we're doing when we're cooking and cleaning or driving.
Okay, so Rose, I think that's just going to bring us to the next question. I was going to say, so how do you end your spiritual day? We've started now, we've gone through the day. How would you end your spiritual day? I'm giving that over to Romy first, Andrew, and then I'll answer.
So, okay, so I'll give you an idea of what happened last night. So I always try and, try and end the day on it, not watching a movie that's, action or anything like that, because you're going to take that with you. You're going to take that to bed. So last night I did a meditation. I did an hour and a half meditation, but I must be honest, I did fall asleep eventually. So I try and, go into that space. We've also got a lot of lectures and, that kind of stuff. So lie and listen to lectures, or, just before you go to bed, and reflect on your day. Just bring in and say, what good happened today? What happened today that didn't serve you? Then you can take that, and you almost like release it. So you can definitely like put it in a bubble and release everything that no longer serves you. But try and do your meditation so you can go into your, that sleep, so that you can have the dream, so you can come to Andrew and he can tell you all about your beautiful dreams. You, Andrew?
I do a lot of my affirmations in the evening after a day's work. And then one can also, it becomes a science, the affirmations that I do and the decree work. So it's not just necessarily transmutative, but it's also for protection, setting intentions, and showing an attitude of gratitude for what the day has provided you. And then also for calling healing, doing healing prayers for people that I know, for family members, for friends, for the elemental life, because there's so many natural disasters happening in the world at the moment, and there's earthquakes and there's tsunamis and there's volcanoes, and people are dying in natural disasters every single day. So one can have an attitude of gratitude for where you're at, and then ask the angels and the masters and Archangel Michael and all these beings, send them into the fray to help these people, and so that there can be love and compassion for their situation. It's not very nice when spiritual people turn around and say, oh, but it's their karma. Because if we don't give love and compassion, then we won't receive it one day when we need it.
Sure.
Love that. I end off my day, my spiritual day, I end it off with lots of prayers, exactly like you said, Andrew. Lots of prayers. I've got a few prayers that I do that includes a lot of that. And then also I love to do the decree of the violet flame when I can't sleep as well. At night when I can't sleep, I keep on doing it in my mind. I'm the being of violet fire. I'm the purity God desires. I love that because once I did that, I actually saw the violet flame. It was amazing. But I think that's going to be a topic, another topic for our podcast. I think that is so interesting. But yes, that's how I end off my spiritual day, with praise. Obviously, after your routine, you've cleaned up, you've had your bath, you're all relaxed, and I like doing praise. And it's not it's even just in my mind. I just say the prayers in my mind. I don't have to go and kneel and go in prayer position. It's just quieting myself, focusing on the breath, and do my prayers. I still do that to this day.
Well, that's beautiful. I mean, there's also the Ho'oponopono, just just doing the Ho'oponopono. But that's also like there's so many little rituals that we can do. So we will definitely go into more of these kind of things. But I think today was like just to tell you guys how you can just connect and be present. Try and be present and don't miss out on anything. So I don't know if there's anything that you guys want to close off with.
So my takeaway for today is, for me, definitely intention and focus on that breath and watch for those glimmers. Yeah. There's always something to be grateful for.
Andrew?
Absolutely. We are all here to become a better version of ourselves. And when we justify when we are having a bad day, then we are saying, I'm not prepared to change. Accept me for who I am. And many people say that. And like I said, we are all here to become a better version of ourselves. And so your self-work and your self-realization is going to become a task for your whole life. And it's a very important task.
Oh, that's so important. And those are all things that we forget about. Bring yourself back into the now. And that's all, that's the only thing that I can think will bring you into that beautiful vibration. So yes, guys, so this was really amazing. We're definitely going to do a lot more of these. So please put in the comments if there's anything that you want us to, to talk about. We can do that. So these things all happen.
And just, for our viewers, and just also remember, viewers, this is all unscripted. We've got no script. We go with our knowledge. We're authentic. Romy, Andrew, myself, we've got a lot of knowledge and we just flow with it. Nothing is scripted. So I like that, because basically I can sip my coffee and we have a wonderful conversation. Yeah. And I hope you feel the same for the viewers. Please comment. Don't forget to comment.
It's all about sharing and having different perspectives. And that's what it's all about.
So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for coming back and listening to our conversations beyond the veil. So please come back for more, and please share and comment. We want you to comment so we can see what you guys
and follow the channel. Please follow the channel. Don't forget, follow the channel. Yes, we need people to follow. Thank you so much. Thanks, Romy and Andrew. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next week, and then we can catch up again.
And lots of love.
Thank you. Thank you. Let us all be keepers of the light.
Thank you, Andrew.